France's most prestigious film awards, les Césars, are being presented Friday night. This year was a chance for redemption. 2020's ceremony was marked by protests, resignations, and walkouts over the nomination and subsequent Best Director win for Roman Polanski. But this year's nominees don't offer many signs of progress for women and minorities at the awards. And there are still 0 Black board members overseeing the Cesar Academy. It's a problem our next guest knows all too well. Magaajyia Silberfeld is a Franco-Nigerian actress and producer who has been a leading voice in the French film industry about the stereotyping of Black actors and their characters. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You tackled this topic in your essay, Noir n'est pas mon métier, which translates to Black is not my job. What are the stereotypical roles the French film industry perpetuates, and why do you think that those are held on to?
So Black is not my job is a book that talks about the stereotypes that we get cast as, in the film industry in France, which is like babysitters, prostitutes, cleaning ladies, I mean, you name it, and it's never really about like when we go to casting, or we get cast in a film. It's very rarely that I get cast as who I am. It's because it serves the story, like it's because my skin color tells something. And that's just, really disappointing in a way, because it means that we cannot exist outside of this color, the skin's color. And yeah, that's a shame.
Why would people, insiders of the French film industry, say that it's like this? I mean, we see the same thing. It's getting better in America, for example, but still very much the case there as well. I mean, would they claim there's not an audience for these types of characters?
I don't know. I think it just stems from ignorance, really. So the difference in France is that the state finances films, the CNC. And so what happens is that at the end of the line, the script writers, they write stereotypes. And I think it comes from this ignorance. For example, if we compare it with Bridgerton, the Netflix series that was recently released, I've heard French people say like, oh, there's this Black guy that was cast as a lead, but there were no Black people before in the aristocracy. And it's just like, it's not true. We know now that Queen Charlotte from the 18th century, Queen Charlotte of England, she was most likely, Black. She was painted as a mulatto, and she descended from a Portuguese branch, that was Black. So I think, it's like, the great-grandfather of Pushkin, who was Abraham Hannibal, who also, was of African descent. He was the godson of the Tsar. So I think it's really about, like, if we stop working with these stereotypes and we can put an actual, Black actor to play Dumas and not Gérard Depardieu, who is an incredible actor, but he's white. So,
well, one way that you've found to break this cycle is to create your own work, and that's advice that you give other young actors as well. But it's hard to get funding as a young woman, especially a young woman of color.
Yes, absolutely. I've been, trying to fund projects, and it's very difficult to find fundings and to be taken seriously as a woman, but also as a Black woman. And I'm mixed, but I identify more as a Black woman because that's what I get cast as. To get funding is just really difficult, but I hope for the best. And I think we have to create our own content. We just have to, keep helping each other as actors and as directors, because, we can't just count on, wait around and wait for casting. I think my hope is just really to create my own content with friends that are really talented and to, make this happen. I think we all have to do this.
And quickly, have you seen any positive change since last year's César ceremony?
To be honest, I'm disappointed to say no. I have not since last year seen any changes. I mean, it's also since the book, we still go to the same castings. We don't work more than before. And also, it's just a shame to say, but again, I just hope that, the best is yet to come, and that casting directors and producers will open their eyes. And also there just needs to be laws, you know, because just like for parity, if you want an actual change in society, you need to instigate like actual legislation for this. And until this can happen, you know, this will not really change. So we have to be taken seriously within the government and the Ministry of Culture.
Well, the new leadership of the César Awards says that they're working towards this, but obviously still work to be done. Franco-Nigerian actress and producer Magaajyia Silberfeld, thank you so much for joining us on France 24. That's all for this edition of Eye on Africa, but do stay with us here on France 24. More news up next.